It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Sportsnet LA presents the Dodgers as they take on the Washington Nationals. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and the Nationals finishing up a three-game series. This is the rubber game. And before we get to that, first news, the Houston Astros shut out the Giants today 2-0. 5 pitchers combined for a 5-hitter. So the Dodgers would be 3 taking the field, come off the field 3.5 if they win, or come back 2.5 where they started the evening in the first place. First of all, for the game tonight, Jordan Zimmermann on the mound with a record of 8-7. You've heard the old expression, he pitched lights out. Well, that's what he did. He pitched 4 innings. The lights blew out, and he was not involved. The game continued the next day. He did allow 2 earned runs. Clayton Kershaw will be on the mound for the Dodgers with a record of 9-6, 6-2 at Dodger Stadium this year. The last game he played against Washington, he was brilliant. Dodgers won it 4-2. Clayton struck out 14 without a walk, and he's 8-2 lifetime against Washington. By the way, Kershaw needs 3 strikeouts tonight to give him 200 for the year and 200 for 6 straight years. Sandy Koufax did that. The top man, that would be Tom Seaver. He had 200 or more strikeouts 9 straight years. One other thought. Washington will leave here and go to San Francisco with the best wishes for the Dodgers. They'll be playing a 4-game series with the Giants. And with that, we'll get to the ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Final game of the three-game series with Washington. Last night getting a big performance. Yasiel Puig driving in all 5 runs, and the Dodgers went on to win it 5-0. So the rubber game tonight, and it's rather appropriate because earlier today, as Matt Williams and the rest of the league looked on, the Mariners not only beat Orioles, but Hisashi Iwakuma became the second Japanese pitcher to throw a no-hitter and the 5th Mariners no-hitter. And you have 2 pitchers tonight, each having pitched a no-hitter, Clayton Kershaw and Jordan Zimmermann. Here's the Nationals lineup. Yunel Escobar, a notorious first-pitch hitter, so you can't look away. Then you have Anthony Rendon at second. Bryce Harper returns with the sore knee in right field. Ryan Zimmerman hits cleanup at first base. Jason Worth, Ian Desmond, Wilson Ramos, Michael Taylor, and Jordan Zimmermann. And we don't want to be caught because, as we mentioned, no hitter has more first pitches to put in play than Yunel Escobar. He has put in play 88 shots on the first pitch, and he's hitting .420. So everybody at attention now as Kershaw goes to work. Clayton 9-6, trying to win his 10th. 7-2 here at Dodger Stadium. And as we mentioned, he needs 3 strikeouts to get 200. First pitch hitter, and taken inside ball 1. Pretty good pitch to take at 95 miles an hour. 2 for 4 in last night's game. Kershaw, both feet on the rubber. Escobar batting .311 and 4 for 8 in the series. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, hammered to center, but there's plenty of room out there. Peterson goes back to make the play. And just like that, 1 out in the first inning. Here are the Dodgers with the leather. Gonzalez, Peraza, Hernandez, Callaspo, Crawford, Peterson, Puig, and Grandal handling Kershaw. A rest for Jimmy Rollins. They hated to take Rollins out because Kendrick can't play, and that double play combination is the heart and soul of the defense. Now with Kendrick down, however, Rollins had to have a day off, and so tonight you have Kike Hernandez, and on the other side, the newcomer, the 21-year-old Jose Peraza. So 1 away, Anthony Rendon checking in. Rendon, a Gold Glove infielder, second baseman, breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1. For a third baseman last year, he won the Silver Slugger Award, so he can do it all. Rendon has just 1 home run and 7 RBIs. He's been banged up. The strike 1 pitch on the way, off speed, the changeup in for a strike, and the count 0-2. Rendon had a left quad strain, so he was on the DL for 15 days. Strike 2 pitch, hit late and foul, back into the screen, and the count still no balls, 2 strikes. Beautiful summer's evening, 83 degrees as the game begins. Not a whisper of not a breath really of any air and stirring the flags. Kershaw ready and comes right back 0-2. Big chopper to third. Callaspo is on it. Fires to first. A little high. Gonzalez makes the play. And we have 2 down. We were talking about no-hitters as Bryce Harper comes up. Kershaw's no-hitter last year, June the 18th. Zimmerman's no-hitter, September the 28th last year. That was a streak of 12 straight no-hitters by National League pitchers, broken today by Hisashi Iwakuma for Seattle. Max Scherzer looking on as Kershaw gets up on top and working now on Bryce Harper. One thing I'll say about Bryce Harper, anybody who watches him play, you understand he fouls the pitch back. He had a sore knee. He hurt it diving on the first game. Couldn't play last night. Now, there's a lot of left-hand hitters, I'm sure, who would say, well, you know what? The knee just still hurts a little bit today when you find out Kershaw's pitching, but not Harper. He loves the challenge, and he has not done well against Kershaw. Big off-speed changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Harper is 1 for 9. The one hit a home run, and he has struck out 6 times. 1 ball and 1 strike. Check swing on a breaking ball that hits the plate. C.B. Buckner brings up a strike. Harper muttering to himself but not putting on any show. Check swing but a strike. 1-2 the count. Harper hitting .333, 29 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Very high. 2-2. We are talking about the 2 no-hitters pitching tonight, Kershaw and Zimmerman, and of course a third one looking on, Max Scherzer from the Washington dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball down and away. 3-2 waiting on deck. Ryan Zimmerman, and he's been a very hot hitter. Three and two to Bryce Harper. And another foul ball off to the left down the line. Washington and the Dodgers having played 5 games. The Dodgers have won 3 of the 5. Last year the Dodgers won 2 games. Then this year Gio Gonzalez nailed them in game 1 of the series. Ground ball to the right side. So a 1-2-3 inning. Kershaw sets him down in order, and at the end of half an inning, the Washington Nationals nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. And playing left field, Carl Crawford. Then Kike Hernandez at short. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. Yasiel Puig in right. Alberto Callaspo at third. Jock Peterson in center. Jose Peraza at second. And Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound, Jordan Zimmerman from Auburndale, Wisconsin. Went to the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. Second round pick by the Nationals back in 2007. Auburndale has a population of 738, and that kind of tells you the background of Jordan Zimmerman. Low key, just as soon be back out on the farm, peace and quiet, with a big right-handed deals, and the first pitch to Crawford, low, ball 1, 1-0. Crawford came off the bench the other night, hit a 3-run home run. And doing well against Zimmerman, hitting .385. Fouls the next pitch off. 1-1. Couple of notes about Zimmerman as far as baseball. He's had 8 no decisions. His team wins when he pitches. They've won 13 times that he went to the mound. 1-2. His bullpen has lost 3 victories for him, but at the same time the offense has saved 4 losses for him. He is basically a fly ball pitcher. And there's a fly ball in the gap coming over, and thrilled on the ball is Harper. He must have lost it, and into second base goes Crawford with a double. I was looking at Bryce Harper wondering about his route, and he was not going in the right direction. So it's early, the lights are on, but it's a powder blue sky. And Harper might have caught the ball normally, but he was just running straight across, and the ball was hit much better than that. And it's finally picked up by Michael Taylor and gotten back in. So Crawford, a fly ball double into the gap. And the batter now will be Hernandez. Kike hitting .285. Zimmerman ready, delivers, and it's fouled away. When Zimmerman pitched his no-hitter, there were a couple of great plays by Steven Souza, an outfielder. And when that no-hitter ended, the story came out that Jordan Zimmerman gave Souza a Best Buy gift card. Now, no knock on Best Buy. Here's the strike one pitch. A lot of people thought, a gift card to Best Buy after he's broken his neck? Well, it was a Best Buy gift card. What it was, he said to young Souza, I will put every electrical appliance throughout your house, whatever it is. Get it through Best Buy. So every television set, you name it, that's what he did. He picked up a big tab for the young outfielder. And when you talk about Jordan Zimmerman, they just talk about how basically tough he is. Physically tough. He was a standout football player, primarily a wide receiver in high school, but he also played baseball and basketball. Big chopper in the hole. Desmond makes a great recovery, then the throw over to third, and Crawford is out, trying to go to third. So it's a great play for Washington. The shortstop Desmond gets the out to first, and the throw over to third in plenty of time. And just like that, on a ground ball, the Dodgers run into a double play. First Desmond, good throw on the run. Alertly, Zimmerman across to Escobar. The tag is made, and that's that. So the Dodgers possibly running out of a pretty good inning. And a rather good tag tonight by Escobar. The tag that he did not make last night, he did make tonight. I'm sure Matt Williams had talked to him about that. So 2 down in the first inning. And ball 1 to Adrian Gonzalez. So a double play, 5, 6, 3, 5. 2 down. 1-1. Talking before about just how tough. 1-2 the count. Gonzalez trying to get something going here with 2 down. One-two pitch up there, 2-2. And ball 3. Waiting on deck, hitting behind Gonzalez, Yasmani Grandal. And that's ball 4. No, strike 3. Adrian turns and says something to Dan Iasonia. He thought that pitch was high and out of the zone, but down he goes. So not a very good inning for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left, and at the end of an inning, no score. Just want to show you how accurate National League umpires can be. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. A lot of people thought it was a ball, but look at the strike zone. That pitch actually got the upper right-hand corner of the strike zone. It was also a nice job of catching by Wilson Ramos. So it might have looked out of the zone and high, but we'll again show you, and you could see the ball catching the upper right-hand corner of the zone. Ryan Zimmerman, no relation at the plate. Ryan doing very well against Kershaw, hitting .438, but he's a heck of a hitter anyway. And a strike, 0-2 the count. Clayton working on his fourth hitter. Fastball away, 1-2. Kershaw 6-2 at home this year. Fastball missed again. 2-2. Ryan Zimmerman 1 for 4 last night. A Gold Glove third baseman, now playing first. 9 home runs. Foul ball. No score, top of the second inning. Dodgers run out of the first inning. Crawford doubles, tries to get to third on a ground ball with the out recorded at first, and he was erased. And then Gonzalez struck out. That big straight changeup, though on the heels of the 90-mile-an-hour pitches, he comes back at 74. Still 2-2 to Ryan. Ryan Zimmerman from Virginia Beach, 6'3", 230. And a little ground ball that will go foul. Zimmerman, going into last night's game, had a streak. He had 8 RBIs in 8 consecutive games. Last night he went 1 for 4. The base hit only advanced a runner to second, so the streak went down the drain. He's been on the DL, but since coming off the DL, he's been hitting .333. Zimmerman in his career has 10 walk-off home runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. Got him. Change down and away. Big pitch. So Kershaw fools you with the arm speed. I mean, he's releasing the ball at the same effort, only it's going to die by exhaustion at the plate. And you're hitting naturally off the arm speed. No chance. All right, he's got strikeout number 1. He needs 3 tonight to get to 200. And here is Jason Worth. Worth doing well. 2 home runs against Clayton Kershaw. And a strike, 0-1. Worth trying to play his way back into shape. He was on the DL. Off speed, and therefore a strike. Boy, when you can throw the fastball and the slider like Kershaw and the curveball, and then you start throwing 70-mile-an-hour strikes, he is really a problem. In the dirt, 1-2. Jason Worth, facing Clayton Kershaw, was on the 60-day DL. He had a left wrist contusion, so they really missed quite a player. And he's way out in front on another 74. So back-to-back strikeouts for Clayton. Not overpowering, just completely fooling them. Great arm speed, same speed you would think with the arm that's a fastball, and that is so confusing. I mean, if you just start slowing up your arm speed, they're going to be looking for a slow pitch, but somehow he throws just as hard with the change. Here now is Ian Desmond. A strike. Desmond, 14 home runs, hit 2 the other night. He is the longest tenured member of the organization. 0-2. Won his 3rd straight Silver Slugger last year. Coming in, he's hit safely in 16 of his last 21. But he could be number 3 now for the 200. Let's see. Just off the plate with the fastball. Tell you what, it took a lot of presence and discipline to take an 0-2 fastball that just missed the strike zone. Though he showed you that the good call by Dan Iasanya comes back with another good one. And there it is. 3 strikeouts all in 1 inning. 200 strikeouts in the year for the 6th straight year. Take a look. Zimmerman and Worth. And for good measure, Ian Desmond. They put it up on the board, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. Six consecutive years to join Sandy Koufax. Don Drysdale had 6 years of 200 strikeouts, but they were not consecutive. They missed 1 year. And Don Sutton had 5. But the crown goes to Kershaw and Koufax, 6 in a row. As we mentioned earlier, Tom Seaver holds the record. Seaver had 200 or more strikeouts 9 consecutive years. But Clayton did it in a hurry. Zimmerman, Worth, and Desmond. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yasmani Grandal hitting in the 270s. Moved it up to 287 of late. 7 RBIs last 10 games. Earlier, but things got in the way. We were talking about Jordan Zimmerman being so tough. Well, we'll tell you why. He was pitching in college, and a line drive hit the right-hander on the right side of the face, breaking the jaw in 2 places. Doctors surgically repaired the jaw, 2 plates, 11 screws. They realigned the jawbones with a mangled mess of rubber bands. They fixed the jaw with metal plates. They had to put almost braces on his teeth. Little ground ball to Zimmerman. 1 away. Anyway, they got all that mess in his mouth. Heck, he was back pitching inside of a month, and the jaw was sealed in place. That got around But you know, he's also tough mentally and physically. Oh, yes, he had that no-hitter, but he also suffered a brutal day, one of the rare games of all. And it was in June of last year, the same year that he pitched the no-hitter. He needed only 76 pitches to go the distance, and he lost the game, 1-0. That broke the Nationals record he had set, 85 pitches. And in the last 100 years, only 9 other pitchers have turned in complete games. Meanwhile, a shot deflected to Rendon, and the out at first. So Puig coming off a 5 RBI game and a great recovery by Anthony Rendon. Line drive off Zimmerman's glove. And Anthony just able to make the play. So 1-4-3. And we have an out here in the second inning. So 2 down. So Puig, who had that hard home run last night and the fly ball triple, hits a shot thrown out defensively, 1-4-3. Fouled away, 1-1. Getting back to losing a game, making only 76 pitches. In the last 100 years, 9 pitchers have turned in a complete game of 8 innings or more with 76 pitches or fewer. The lowest that you can think of, Jose Bautista, had a 70-pitch effort in 8 innings in a complete game when he lost to the Mariners. 70 pitches. No balls and 2 strikes. No score, second inning. And a fly ball to left center. Taylor moving over. So down go the Dodgers. And at the end of 2, no score. And Reds stay after the game. 2015 Dodger Stadium movie series will end with Back to the Future's 30th anniversary. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Wilson Ramos, the catcher. Michael Taylor, the center fielder, and then the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman. Kershaw struck out the side in the second inning to give him 200. And on we go to the third. slap foul late down the line. Wilson Ramos has done very well behind the plate, especially catching young Joe Ross and Jordan Zimmerman. Jose Lobaton does a great job handling Gio Gonzalez, who shut the Dodgers out for 8. Well, Gonzalez with the beard, taking it all in. Ramos, 9 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Wide open stance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dan Iasanya has already been involved tonight, and we've shown he's made 2 perfect calls. Each time the hitter felt he was wrong, but we showed he was right. Dan has been umpiring in the big leagues for 14 years, and he's a little special. Not only did he have a BA in English from the University of Connecticut, he plays the great Highland bagpipes. I don't know of another umpire. In fact, I've never met anybody who can play the bagpipes. Slice foul out of play. How in the world do you get involved playing the bagpipes? Well, his daughter got involved in Irish dancing, and one thing led to the next. Dan apparently is pretty good. In fact, he didn't do it on this trip, but Iasanya sometimes brings the pipes with him on the road, and he'll play in the parking lot for the delight of the folks coming to the game. At an umpire's funeral, he played the bagpipes, and that, of course, just seems like when you hear bagpipes, you think of funerals, especially in the police department. So it's just one of his many talents. Been umpiring in the big leagues 14 years. Comebacker. Nice play by Clayton to take a base hit away from Ramos. So Clayton is retired 7 in a row, and Michael Taylor, the young center fielder, coming up. Taylor has played well, covers a lot of ground. 0 for 4 last night. He had 3 hits the night before, so he is 3 for 8 in the series. 0-1. Taylor has some big shoes to fill. Denard Span was the fellow who really made Washington go, and he's out with a bad back. Not sure when, if ever, he'll return, sorry to say. But Span was a special player, and they hope that Michael will be too. He was a 6th-round pick, and Matt Williams hoping that he'll survive the role. High pop fly, a trio of Dodgers. The middleman is Peraza, but it's the Puig territory, and Yasiel takes care of it. I tell you what, that took a lot for a 21-year-old rookie infielder named Jose Peraza to go angling out into right field, hearing the hoof of the wild horse, and he was going to go right in there after it. And then he saw Puig, took a look, then he heard him, and he bailed out. There's the 3 getting together, but it's Peraza in the middle. 2 down. Right. And another one. Zimmerman has 5 hits. He has a double and 3 runs batted in. And he has struck out less than a third of the time, except tonight. And again, it's that devilish off-speed pitch that's doing the damage. He's not blowing the hitters away. He is thinking them away. 4 strikeouts for Clayton. We're heading to the bottom of the 3rd. No score. Clayton Kershaw hosts his annual Ping Pong for Purpose charity event. Plus, Kike Hernandez gets mic'd up. So don't miss Backstage Dodgers tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. on Sportsnet LA. Kershaw has made 42 pitches. He has struck out 4. No score, bottom of the third. It'll be Jock Peterson, Jose Peraza, and then Clayton Kershaw. By the way, with the 4 strikeouts, a lot of swings and misses. That's a strike. Max Scherzer in the Washington dugout taking in the game. There have been 395 swings and misses at his stuff. Kershaw going into tonight, 363. So he gets him up to close to 370. Chris Sale of the White Sox has 392 swings and misses. Chris Archer of Tampa Bay, 367, and then Clayton. Just a small note. 1-2, no score. Peterson, 21 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Young Jock struggling at 220. Two and two. Dodgers loose and easy. The Giants lost today, 2-0. 5 pitchers gave up 5 hits. Jose Peraza waiting on deck, and Peterson up there now runs the count all the way. Mattingly, Wallach, McGuire trying to figure out the puzzle that is young Jock Peterson. Foul ball. Peterson last night walked twice and struck out, and one of the foul balls on a strikeout, he hit it in the upper deck down the right field line, but foul. But you see the power that's in there. Foul back. Fastball and lands in fastball alley. Second deck directly behind home. And a high foul carrying back and into the stand. Zimmerman is a strong arm pitcher. His fastball clocked at 95. We've seen several of them. He has a 2-seamer at about 90. Big loopy kind of a curveball and a hard slider, plus a straight change. And there's ball 4. So Peterson gets the walk. For Jock, learning patience at the plate.
Second baseman number 18.
He has now walked 71 times. 71 walks, 134 strikeouts, 21 home runs. And here's young Peraza. 1 for 4 in the only game he played the other day. I'm not sure if he was just late or going to right field. He tried to go to right field the other night. All of his at-bats. His triple, his first major league hit to right field. Foul ball, 0-2. Sometimes until you see a player for a while, you're not quite sure, is he that talented to be going the other way, or is he just being fooled or being late? Well, we'll see. Time will certainly tell. No score, bottom of the third. Very close. The other thing about Jock that was impressive, rare to say you get impressed by a walk, but it was a 10-pitch at bat. He fouled off several. He has the speed to run, but not the knowledge yet of the pitcher's moves. 3 stolen bases, but he's been caught 6 times. And there's a little looper. Oh, tricky hop. What a play by Desmond. Gee whiz. Wow. Not only charging, but the ball suddenly slanted away, and he was able to barehand and throw. Look at this.
Kershaw.
Wonderful play. He also made a great play in the first inning on the ball hit by Hernandez. Ian Desmond takes a base hit away from Peraza. Peterson advancing. And that'll bring up Clayton. Kershaw, a threat with the bat. He has 2 runs batted in, 7 hits, including 2 doubles. Struck out maybe a third of the time. Well, the Dodgers are a lead because the Giants lost. Boy, they almost picked him off. Giants lost to Houston 2-0. A lot of pressure on the Washington Nationals. The Mets defeated the Rockies today 3-0 behind the great young pitcher Jacob deGrom. So Washington 3 games back right now. It'll be 3.5. Well, it'd be a lot like the Dodgers. Only the Dodgers in front and Washington chasing the Mets. 1 ball and 1 strike. Odd game with the Mets. In the 4th inning, back-to-back hitters got hits to knock in a run. The irony for Juan Uribe, his 1,500th career hit, and the next hitter, Mike Kadire, got his 1,500th career hit as well. Back-to-back in the same inning. Popped up left side, Desmond. Two down. Peterson at second base and Carl Crawford trying to pick him up.
Number 3, Carl Crawford.
Crawford doubled to right center field in the first inning. Bryce Harper made a bad route. Maybe he lost the ball running straight across and the ball was hit over his head. However, Harper got away with it when Crawford ran out of the inning trying to go to third on a ground ball to short. A strike. 0-1. Cincinnati will be here for 4 starting tomorrow night. And Washington will be in San Francisco for 4. 0-2. Jordan, growing up in the middle of Wisconsin, grew up milking cows on his grandparents' farm, taking shelter cold winter nights in gyms, fish fries on Friday night, the good, simple life. And as his teammates say, the town shaped him, and he has not allowed the rest of the world to change him. Ask him about the town, he'll say, well, it's about 700 people. No stoplights, a couple of bars, a gas station, and a railroad track. From one end of Auburndale to the other is about 2 miles on Main Street. And as he says, oh yeah, it'll go from the Jones Welding and Auto to Dave's Service Center. The county store boastfully has caloric ice cream. I mean, it's big time. 0-2, fouled away. So he went from Auburndale, Wisconsin, to the nation's capital. I love the line. They talk about the pastures stretch far enough in every direction to make the silos, the barns, and the houses feel like islands in the sea. Slap down the left field line, in there. That will score the run. Over to get the ball is Jason Worth, holding a long single to Carl Crawford. So the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. Crawford is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. So Crawford bangs it down the left field line, kind of stood at home plate. I think he thought, well, that's going to go foul. That's why he winds up standing at first base. With his speed, that's a double. And he knows that he should have left the bag and kept on going. So Jock Peterson, 10-pitch at bat, got the walk, and the base hit picks him up. So one way or another, he can contribute. Foul back. 0-1 to Kike. One run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Nothing across. Kershaw has retired 9 in a row, striking out 4. Clayton with Yasmani Grandal handling tonight. 0-2 to Kike. So Zimmerman gives up a run, a leadoff walk, a 2-out single on the 0-2 pitch, which is maddening, I'm sure. And there goes Crawford, half swing for strike 3. By the way, as Zimmerman walks off, he has given up 11 hits on a no-ball, 2-strike count, and this one nails him for a run. And at the end of 3, 1-0 Dodgers. The 2015 Jeep Cherokee. With an EPA estimated 31 highway MPG, it's the perfect choice. Visit Jeep.com today. 4th inning, 1-0 Dodgers. Bad inning for Zimmerman to give up a walk to the leadoff man and then give up an 0-2 base hit for a run. Kershaw, meanwhile, had retired 9 in a row. So it's second time through the lineup. Escobar, Rendon, and Harper. 9 in a row with 4 strikeouts. And being the first ball swinger and hitter that he is, he goes after that low breaking ball. Big, slow overhand curve, but missed. 1-1. There's the fastball. He's late on it. Peraza taking his time. 1 away.
Number 6.
Anthony Rendon grounded to third in the first inning. Made a nice play on the ball hit by Puig, the line drive off the glove of Jordan Zimmerman. Good recovery, and Rendon got him. Sliced down the right field line, foul ball. Anthony Rendon on a no ball, 1 strike count. He's talking to Yasmani Grandal. 0-1. Pulled foul right under the feet of Bobby Henley. Tony Tarasco coaching at first, and there's Bobby at third. Look out. The only contribution I've ever made, I finally talked the commissioner to making an order that coaches would wear helmets, but they would not do what I begged them to do. Putting the helmet on top of your head, that's nice, but it's the ear patch. The left ear for the first base coach, right ear for the third base coach. They wouldn't buy it. Fly ball, and moving over to pick it off is Crawford. All right, 12 in a row coming up if Bryce Harper fails to connect. Harper grounded out in the first inning. Marvelous player. I guess Bryce is the Mike Trout of the National League. However, there apparently is a big difference in his relationship with the press. Mike Trout, of course, is everybody's friend. Harper's been playing baseball, the best way to say it, forever. Travel teams. Played anywhere from 80 to 130 baseball games a year for 7 years. Traveled to more states than he can remember. He was a first-round pick back in 2010 out of the College of Southern Nevada. Came up to the Nationals 212. Shot that hits the mound. Bobbled by Hernandez, who throws. Got him anyway. And remember, Harper has that sore knee. Up the arm. Quick recover. Never quit. Fire. Got him. All right, we're going to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 Dodgers. 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a spray bottle with fan presented by Farmer John. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotion. Good idea. Put water in the bottle, turn the fan on, and get a cool breeze. It'll come in handy from what the weatherman says for the next couple of days. Ball one to Adrian, struck out in the first inning. Gonzalez, Grandal, and Puig. They're going to check. Swing, says Buckner. 1 ball, 1 strike. See that bat go beyond the edge of the plate. 1-2. Adrian Gonzalez, since the All-Star break, hitting .341, but not this time. So he strikes out a second time against Jordan Zimmerman.
Number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
1 out, and Yasmani Grandal grounded out. 0 for 1. Zimmerman with 3 strikeouts. Kershaw has 4. Dodgers lead 1-0. Sound like a cracked bat. Rendon for the second out. Now Yasiel Puig,
66.
who hit that line drive off Jordan Zimmerman's glove, deflected to Rendon, who threw him out. Not much to notice. They do say that Puig has changed his batting stance just a little bit. His left foot is not quite where it was in the past. It's just a little shift, let's say closer to third base. There, if you draw a line, see where the foot is? 0-2. Got him. Well, the left foot or not, didn't help on those 3 pitches. 4 strikeouts for Zimmerman, and at the end of 4, it's 1-0. Dodgers. Hello, team. Nothing across. Kershaw had retired 12 in a row, striking out 4 of them, and doing it with a lot of change breaking balls, not just blowing the hitters away at all, really pitching. Plate now facing Ryan Zimmerman, who struck out in the second inning. As far as the Washington roster is concerned, Bryce Harper has a home run, and Jason Worth had 2 in the past against Kershaw. No play, back in the stands, and then Kangaroos the other way into the Washington dugout. Ryan Zimmerman, a solid third baseman, and then came up with a bad shoulder. And it got so that it was pretty sad watching him play third. He was dropping the arm in pain, trying to make the play all the way across the diamond. So it was kind of interesting in the first inning. Hernandez hit the ground ball to Desmond, who threw to Ryan. Crawford tried to go to third, and Zimmerman must have grit his teeth and made the throw and got him. So Ryan a one hopper to short, 1 down.
Number 28.
Jason Worth struck out in the second inning. Outside of these 3 home runs in the past by the Washington hitters, you had a triple by Ian Desmond, a double by Danny Espinosa, and a double by Ryan Zimmerman. 8-2. That's Kershaw's record lifetime against Washington. Ball 1. One nothing Dodgers, top of the 5th. Ground ball to Kike. So that's 3 in a row. Ground balls to the Dodgers shortstop. First one ended the 5th, the 4th, and now he's gotten 2 more in the 5th. So Ian Desmond. Desmond is right up there, not quite as much as Escobar, but he loves that first pitch. And a strike. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper looking through the wires, trying to figure Kershaw out. Change up. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of off-speed pitches from Clayton. And then the fastball. 2-1. He has now made 61 pitches, and he's into the 5th inning with 2 out. Can you imagine how it must have felt, Jordan Zimmerman, to make a 76 pitch game and lose? Little ground ball. So that's 15 in a row retired in 5 innings. People starting to count them up and starting to take things seriously. It's 1-0 Dodgers. by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Now at Toyota's annual clearance event, get amazing deals on every new Toyota. Bottom of the fifth inning, 1-0 Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw has struck out 4, no walks, in fact nothing. Through 5 innings, he has retired 15 in a row. Alana Rizzo asked Clayton after he had a near no-hitter in New York earlier this year, "Are you aware of the fact you're pitching a no-hitter, perfect game, whatever?" And Clayton said, "After the 5th inning, you can bet I'm aware of it." Well, he'll be heading to the 6th inning. Nada. 0-1 to Caspo. Fly to center in the 2nd inning. Oh, and 1. Good breaking ball dropped in. Seeing Caspo play third base reminds us that Justin Turner is very close to come back. Say very close. We're not quite sure when. Little roller, foul ball. Don Mattingly was asked about when Turner will be activated, and he said the next couple of days. He was going to have a heavy day of conditioning and baseball work today. It'll either be tomorrow or Friday as much as anything. It's conditioning to make sure he'll be ready. Rendon goes out, but it's Michael Taylor to handle it. So Jock Peterson coming up with 1 out. Peterson had a big at-bat, and as it turned out, a very important at-bat in the 3rd inning. A 10-pitch at-bat. He wound up drawing a walk, and then the 2-out single by Crawford got him home, and that's it. 1-0 Dodgers. Crawford ran the Dodgers out of an inning in the 1st inning, but he certainly made up for it in the 3rd. Change up, straight change for a strike. 0-1. And another strike and another off-speed pitch. And a little chopper wide of first. Zimmerman to Zimmerman. 1 away. Now 2. And the batter will be Jose Peraza.
Number 18, Jose Peraza.
Peraza grounded to short in the 3rd inning. 0 for 1. Of course, he's wondering, when Turner comes back, somebody will have to go down. Dodgers are going to be without Howie Kendrick for a couple of weeks, apparently, at least. They tasked Don Mattingly about, well, with Kendrick being out, will Peraza be the second baseman? And Don said no. Kike Hernandez will get the first shot at the position. Fastball slapped wide at 3rd. Nice pick there by Escobar. And boy, that was close. Peraza racing down the line. So a 1-2-3 inning at the end of 5. 1-0 Dodgers. Both Don Drysdale and Pee Wee Reese went into the Hall of Fame. Drysdale, 209 victories. He had that string of 58 2/3 scoreless innings. And, of course, he was a Cy Young winner as well. And for the captain, as he was called, Pee Wee Reese, Harold Reese, number 1 on the back of his uniform. And he was number 1 with the Dodgers, 10 times an All-Star. And when things were wrong, everyone went to Pee Wee. We'll talk more about him, but we'll get back to this one. 1-0 Dodgers. You have number 1 in his uniform and number 1 in the hearts of Brooklyn fans. He was as respected a player as I have ever seen. In fact, if a player had a problem on or off the field, he would go to Pee Wee Reese. If his wife had a problem, she would go to Dottie Reese, Pee Wee's wife. Of all the players I have ever seen, Pee Wee Reese had the most effect on his fellow team members. They loved him. Wilson Ramos hit back to the box in the 3rd inning. There's that big overhand change curve for a strike. It's been a big pitch for him. Trying to get 16th in a row. Fastball to show him, make him think about it. 2-2. Fastball, got him. So where he's been getting the strikeouts, using the fastball as a showcase and then come back with a slow curve. This time he gave him the slow curve, showed him a fastball, and surprised him by coming right back with a fastball. 5 strikeouts for Clayton, 16 in a row, and the batter is Michael Taylor. And he drives one to center over Peterson's head, and he's not going to catch it. And into second base goes the young center fielder with a long double. And that breaks the spell. 16 in a row, and then the base hit, the double.
Number 27, Jordan Zimmerman.
And the batter now will be the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman. So Michael had a good swing, hits it over Peterson's head. No chance he could catch up to it. Now we'll see if there's any psychological letdown. Maybe it's just in well that he has the pitcher to face instead of a number 3 or 4 hitter. Oh, and 1. Little nubber back to the box. 2 down. Now Escobar.
Third baseman,
Escobar fly to center, grounded out, 0 for 2. Couldn't help but think, after Kershaw had retired 15 in a row, that memorable day doing the telecast from Yankee Stadium when Don Larson pitched the perfect game against the Dodgers. And the great Mel Allen did the first half of the game. And Mel was brought up where you never mentioned anything about a no-hitter. And so he gave it to me at the end of 4.5 innings. And he had said he's retired 15 in a row and never mentioned no-hitter. And I was kind of scared to death anyway. So I figured, well, if the great Allen is just going to call the numbers, I will too. And that's what we did. And the 22nd in a row. Maddening. I would never do that when I grew up. Oh, well. 0-1. chopper up the middle. Nice slide by Kike. The throw got him. The amazing Kike Hernandez. Watch this. Sliding stop, gets up, sets. I don't know how he finds the first baseman, but he did. And Escobar goes 0 for 3. And look at Kershaw. No runs. One hit, a man left, still 1-0 Dodgers. They have 4 in a row at home starting tomorrow night with the Cincinnati Reds. Then they'll go out on the road. They'll spend 2 games in Oakland, the weekend in Houston, and then 3 more in Cincinnati. And they'll be home with the Cubs and the Giants starting on the 28th of August. And a strike, 0-1. Kershaw popped up in the 3rd inning. Kershaw, in his time on the mound, has made 72 pitches. Zimmerman has now made 69. Though Clayton fooled on an off-speed pitch, turnabout's fair play, and down he goes. That's the 5th strikeout for Jordan Zimmerman. So a walk, a 7-pitch at bat. Jock Peterson got the walk, and 2 outs later, Kyle Crawford had singled him in. That's the difference in the game. So Crawford doubled and then tried to go to 3rd and was nailed. That was back in the 1st inning. Hit a ball down the left field line. I think he thought it was foul because he stood at the plate a little while and wound up with only a single, but he did drive in the only run of the game. He has hit Zimmerman, as the numbers tell you, very well. Drives it to center. Right there is Michael Taylor, and we have 2 down.
Shortstop.
The shortstop, Kike Hernandez, coming up, and as usual, he's put on a show. He has never met a ground ball that he would surrender to. Take a couple of looks tonight. Number 1 has it get away, spins, turns, fires, and got his man. And then the twist and turn to beat Escobar. That was a dandy, getting a fist in the air pump from Clayton. 0-1 the count. Hernandez came into the game hitting .285. 0-2. Kike 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in, and a tremendous spirit. He loves to play the game, and it rubs off on all of his teammates. 0-2. 1-2. Slider, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zimmerman, 6'2", 215 pounds. 76 pitches. Third inning is what hurt him when he walked Peterson. This time Hernandez is fooled. That gives Zimmerman 6 strikeouts to Kershaw's 5. However, the Dodgers lead 1-0. By Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Choose Nissan.com. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Use promo code BLUECREW for free entry. 1-0 Dodgers, top of the 7th inning. Kershaw retired 16 in a row. Gave up the double and then got the next 2. So he's retired 18 of the 19 through 6. And now he faces Anthony Rendon. Starts him with that changeup. That's been a key pitch for him. 0-1. And comes back with a fastball and misses. Rendon grounded to third, flied to left. One and one. And lined to left field for a base hit. So tying run aboard, nobody out. And Harper, Ryan, Zimmerman, and Worth coming up.
Fielder Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper grounded out twice. 0 for 2. He is 1 for 11 against Kershaw. He has struck out 6 times. He has 1 RBI. That came with a home run. Oh, and 1 to count. Kershaw has not only gotten to just 1 3-ball count, and it was against Harper in the first inning. There have only been 5 other 2-ball counts. He made a lot out of 76 pitches. Ryan Zimmerman's first baseman has watched his pitcher go 77 pitches, and there's another changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball away. Washington has certainly a right-hand hitting ball club. They only have 2 left-handers. Matt Williams plays Clint Robinson at first, and of course Harper in right field. And that's it. 2-1. Wow. 95-mile-an-hour fastball and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. That thing came up there in a hurry. We mentioned it about Harper. Al Kaline was 20 years old, and he hit in the 3rd spot in the lineup for the Tigers. And here's the other Al Kaline in Bryce Harper. You don't see 20-year-olds hitting in the 3rd spot, but that's where he has been. And with all of it, all the things that he has done, he won't be 23 until the 16th of October. The tip-off, he was 3, they say, and he was playing against 6-year-olds. 2-2. Got him. So he is now 1 for 12 with 7 strikeouts against Clayton Kershaw.
First baseman, Ryan Zimmerman.
That gives Kershaw 6 strikeouts. And the batter, Ryan Zimmerman. Kershaw's been like a machine, 19 of 21 first pitch strikes. However, Michael Taylor hit the double in the first inning, or on the first pitch, over the head of center fielder Peterson. That was in the 6th inning. Ryan Zimmerman struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Two 2-0. So that's even the rare 2-0 count. On deck, Jason Worth. Fastball, 2-1 the count. The New York Mets, behind Jacob deGrom, won their 3rd in a row. They've won 9 of the last 11. For the moment, they're 3 in front of Washington, just as the Dodgers for the moment are 3 in front of San Francisco, who lost this afternoon. So Matt Williams, if he loses tonight, he'll be trailing by 3.5. And if the Dodgers win, then they would be leading the Giants by 3.5. Not much of a swing by Ryan, fooled on that. Kind of runs down the corner of his mouth as if saying, how'd I do that? Here's why. 1-0 Dodgers, 7th inning. Rendon at first with 1 out. Looked like he was pressing to chase that pitch. So Ryan strikes out. 7 strikeouts for Clayton. Back to back here in the 7th inning, getting Harper and Zimmerman.
Fielder, Jason Worth.
That's a pretty good accomplishment. So Jason Worth struck out, grounded to short. Very, very rusty, having been on the 60-day DL. Only been in 41 games. 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. They really miss him. I mean, Jason has it all. He's a fine fielder, a very good throwing arm, a good hitter, and a power hitter as well. But he's just been out too long. Jason, originally drafted by the Orioles back in 1997. So behind all that hair, he's 36 years old. One ball, no strikes. Fooled on that. 1-1. Started playing professionally in '97. Wrecked his shoulder as a Dodger, crashing into a wall in Colorado. Came up to the Dodgers in 2004 and hit immediately 16 home runs. Change up on the corner. I think Clayton has thrown more changes, more off-speed breaking balls than just about any game we've seen him pitch this year. And the hitters are all looking fastball. 88 pitches, 1-2 the count to Jason. Fastball away. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A leadoff man at Rendon singled, but he's still at first base as Harper and Zimmerman struck out. 2-2. Off speed and high. We were talking about the fact that as good as young Michael Taylor is, Denard Span was the guy. Span, playing center field, was hitting .304. He was 11 for 11 in stolen bases. He had 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, and then he went down with a bad back. There goes the runner, and there goes the hitter. So Kershaw strikes out the side for the second time. He struck out Zimmerman, Worth, and Desmond in the second. Strikes out Harper, Zimmerman, and Worth in the 7th. Gives up a hit, and it's still 1-0 Dodgers. The starting pitchers matching up just as the leadoff hitter Gonzalez gets in the box. You can see not much of an edge for either pitcher. 0-1 to Adrian. Struck out in the first, struck out in the fourth. Clayton has made 91 pitches. He has struck out 8. He has not walked a man. Remember his other game against Washington, he struck out 14 without a walk. Won that game 4-2. 1-1. Foul back. Zach Greinke last night went 6 innings and made 109 pitches. Kershaw has gone 7 innings and made 91. Line drive, just foul. Tough play for Lance Barrett. First thought, self-preservation. That bullet was right going down the line. 1-2 to Adrian. Take a look. Look at the umpire. He has to duck, then try to turn quick and take a quick look, and it just missed. You saw the puff of dirt. And for Adrian, tough night. Strikes out 3 times. 7 strikeouts for Jordan Zimmerman. So we were talking about Zimmerman having his heart broken, making 76 pitches and losing 1-0 last June. He was eventually rewarded later on with the no-hitter. But he's having one of those games, losing 1-0. He's only allowed 2 hits, and he has struck out 7. Ball 1. Yasmani Grandal grounded out twice, 0 for 2. Grandal has become very impressive, not with the 15 home runs, which is impressive enough, but the fact that he came into the game hitting .350 right-handed and a good solid .277 left. That's a lot of production from one man. To be a switch-hitting catcher and produce like that. 3-0. In there. Yasiel Puig on deck behind him. Good fastball at 94. Jordan Zimmerman, a solid pitcher. Make no mistake about that. He's won 19 games 2 years ago. And strike 3. So now Jordan Zimmerman has struck out 3 in a row. He has struck out 8 to equal Kershaw. Don't forget Friday night fireworks. Dodgers in Cincinnati. Be a fireworks show featuring a musical mix selected by Dodger players. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. 0-1. Cincinnati Reds. Aroldis Chapman, Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, who was able to beat Jock Peterson in the home run contest before the All-Star game. Quite a cast. Reds, for one reason or 10, have lost 3 in a row, and they are 22 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals. 22. 2-1 the count. Zimmerman is due to bat 4th when Washington comes up, so they get the bullpen busy. And his 2-1 pitch took a little off it. Perfect strike. 2-2 the count. Last time that Puig came up, Zimmerman just zipped 3 fastballs by him, so let's see what he gives him. 2-2. Fastball, see you later. So that's 9 strikeouts for Zimmerman. He strikes out the side. He has struck out 4 and 5 of the last 6. But he walks off pitching a great game and losing to Kershaw 1-0. had that lengthy 7-pitch at bat for a walk and scored the only run on Carl Crawford's single. Michael Taylor, the only hit for Washington, a double, but the night belongs to the pitcher. Kershaw, no runs, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. Jordan Zimmerman, 1 run, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. And we go to the 8th inning, 1-0 Kershaw facing Ian Desmond. Desmond hitting 6th in the lineup. The number 8 hitter is Michael Taylor, and Taylor had the double. Long drive over the head of Jock Peterson. It's interesting what happens with Kershaw and the number 8 hitter. 1-1. The highest batting average against Kershaw of any spot in the lineup is the number 8 slot. They're hitting .283 against him, and that includes Taylor's double tonight. 1-1. Desmond has struck out and grounded out. Kershaw now has made 94 pitches. He's in an area that's a little dangerous. His pitches from 91 to 105. Fastball, a hopper, hit to Kike. 1 away. In that stretch from 91 to 105, it's not the average. The hitters are only hitting 172 against him, but he has allowed 2 home runs during that stretch. Wilson Ramos hit back to the box, struck out. Ramos with 9 home runs and a high fly ball to left field, but Crawford has a play on the track. That's that dangerous area from 91 to 105. He got away with that one barely. And now here's the number 8 hitter, and wouldn't you know, with Kershaw pitching a perfect game, the number 8 hitter hit one over the head, and it was a good shot. Peterson had no chance. And Michael Taylor had a double, but Jordan Zimmerman hit back to the box. Escobar grounded out, and the run was denied. A line drive base hit. So that number 8 spot is amazing. I'm not sure whether Kershaw is aware of it so that he suddenly goes into it in a different frame of mind, but the number 8 hitter is 2 for 3. Danny Espinosa is now going to come up and pinch hit for Jordan Zimmerman, and in the Dodger bullpen, it's a little early, but Kenley Jansen's going to get up. Espinosa is a switch hitter. He'll bat right-handed, of course. He's a little bit like Yasmani Grandal. He has 10 home runs, 8 batting left-handed, 2 right-handed, but his right-handed average .289. So 2 out, Taylor at first, and a strike. Taylor runs exceptionally well. It's a tough spot to manage. Taylor has stolen 14 out of 17. Kershaw is terrifically well of holding runners on. Timeout. There's a ball or a frisbee, or frisbee out there in left field. 1-0 favor the Dodgers. Top of the 8th. Tremendous duel. Jordan Zimmerman, Clayton Kershaw. Big movement for Taylor. And ball 1. So again, with 2 out, the number 9 hitter, Danny Espinosa, at the plate. Would you risk running Michael Taylor with that great 14 out of 17 against a pitcher with a great move to first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Taylor's the only man to get on base to second base with his double. Rendon reached on a single but stayed there. Little chopper, foul ball. 1-2 to Danny. Espinosa for the year, 29 runs batted in. He has one of the great throwing arms as an infielder. He's hit safely in 6 of the last 9 games they've allowed him to start, and he's reached base safely in 8 of 9. Michael Taylor making his lead, but Kershaw just staring at him, not letting him have a jump, and decides to go over there. So it's a big gamble. If Michael Taylor goes, he might pick up his 15th steal. If they get him, they waste a pinch hitter, and the pitcher will be due up leading off the 9th. So do you or don't. Taylor's leaning and going, and the pitch, a little roller to short. Kike come up and throw him out. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Dodgers. Your photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th. You look in the dugout. It looks like Clayton Kershaw wants to convince his manager that he wants to stay in the game. He has made 101 pitches. His high for the year. He made 123 pitches in Philadelphia when he had a 5-0 shutout and went 9. Kike Hernandez has helped him with a couple of dazzling plays. His last game, he went 6 innings against Pittsburgh, 97 pitches, and before that 115 pitches against the Angels to beat them 3-1. So we will see. Meanwhile, in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen is warming up. So you would think at that Kershaw, and we're guessing that he was asking to stay in, but maybe not. He might lose that. Little flare, foul, lost the bat handle in his hands, the meat at the edge of the grass. 0-1 to count. Drew Storen breaks his bat. So Callaspo has to go and get another. Drew Storen out of Indianapolis, 6'2", 180. Drew, 28 years old. He was the closer. He was the closer until they made the deal for Jonathan Papelbon. And the next two times that he came in to be the one to hand the ball to the closer, he got racked. He went to Stanford, extremely bright, and there's Papelbon loosening up. Storen's major at Stanford, mechanical engineering. High twisting foul ball down the line. Will go back in about 3 or 4 rows. 0-2 the count. Drew Storen, interestingly enough, way back in 2003, he was the bat boy for the Montreal Expos. His father had a long-time connection with the Expos trainer. So Storen at 16 not only was the bat boy, he was shagging batting practice and having the ball of his life. Another pop foul, and that'll go out of play. Storen's father, by the way, a baseball broadcaster, Mark Patrick, on XM radio. One of the things that Drew Storen would like to do when his playing days are over, product design. 0-2. Ball 1. When he was in high school, he actually designed an iPhone. Totally different, but it was just something to inspire him. But that's his direction. Change slider in for a strike. So Callaspo caught. Down he goes. So 10 Dodgers have struck out, but they're leading 1-0. Hey, you know, you can watch every out-of-market game live, on demand, in true HD, MLB.TV Premium, every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. So visit MLB.TV for details. One out, 8th inning. Jimmy Rollins comes out on deck. He would bat for Peraza. They want his glove as well as his bat. Oh, 0-1 to Jock, who had a very important at bat way back in the 3rd inning, leading off. He had a 7-pitch at bat against Jordan Zimmerman, and Jock won it with a walk. Moved to second on a ground ball by Peraza, and with 2 outs, scored on a single by Carl Crawford, and that's it. 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th. Jordan Zimmerman struck out 9. Kershaw struck out 8. They each allowed 2 hits. And then in the 8th inning, Michael Taylor had the base hit. That would be hit number 3 for Kershaw. And the drive to right, but it's going to go foul. He hit a similar foul ball last night down the line. Still 1-2 to Jock. Kershaw, no runs, 3 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Another magnificent effort. Time. At his feet, and I think it hit a foot. Yep. So Peterson hit by the pitch. Now Jimmy Rollins was in the on-deck circle, but with Peterson aboard, it looks like Rollins will not come up and hit. They'll push him back a little bit to hit later in the lineup. So here comes Andre Ethier with a runner at first. Big break, and the Dodgers try to exploit it now at the hands of Drew Storen. Andre Ethier against Storen, 1 for 2. Base hit. Good sinking fastball at 95. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Tomorrow night, Sandy Koufax bobblehead night, and the Dodgers and the Reds. Change up. Boy, what a beautiful pitch that was. Storen with the count his way. No balls, 2 strikes. Storen remembers getting a batting glove ever since he was like 6 years old, backed up by the left-hander in the pen. But he'd get a batting glove every Christmas since he was about 6 years old from his dad. He has saved every one of them. They're going to check no swing. He has them all lined up, including the one that he used last year, and he has them in chronological order. Started when he was 7 years old. And as he said, Drew said, he always got me the gloves with my name sewed in, so that even when I was 7, I was unheard of, but there they were, stacked up year after year, and now baseball is his life. Storen likes to draw. He's interested in product design, and eventually, when he's finished, that will be his field of excellence. 1-2. And whacked to right field down the line. That's going to land in front of the bullpen gate. Picked up by Harper, and Peterson will stop at third on a long double by Andre Ethier. And now they're going to wave in whatever happened down there in right field. Peterson will be allowed to score. And here comes Andre Ethier. Let's take another look at that. What in the heck happened? I thought the ball bounced against the gate. All right, the cameras will tell. Breaking ball. High fly ball bouncing. Hits the gate. Harper gets it back to the infield. Runners stop at second and third. The throw got away from Storen, and that's why the run scored. We were busy watching Peterson stop at third base. So the overthrow, and Storen unable to back up, and the Dodgers pick up 2 gifts and lead 3-0. So that's a killer, as Rendon's throw goes all the way to the Dodger dugout. Pop fly, foul ball. Not much of a chance, but no chance. So we'll wait on the scoring. I assume Rendon will get the error. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for Washington. It'll be a double. The error will be charged to Rendon. No RBI. So Jimmy Rollins up there with a comfortable 3-0 lead. Strike 1 pitch off the corner. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. And ball 2 down at that left foot. When the Nationals come up in the 9th inning, it'll be the top of the order. Yunel Escobar, Anthony Rendon, and Bryce Harper. And they'll be facing Kenley Jansen. Kershaw out of the game. Fastball in there. 2-2. Still 2-2 to Jimmy. Rollins hitting .223, but he's hitting over .300 right-handed. All his power is from the left side. Jimmy has 11 home runs, 9 as a left-handed batter. 2-2. Fouled away. We have a moment we can take another look. We were busy watching the runners, especially Peterson being held at third. And here's the play. Rendon turns, fires not to the plate, halfway up. Storen tried to back up, couldn't do it, and both runs scored. So that's a crusher for Washington. Pulled foul. Interesting, too, when Rendon was throwing, Ryan Zimmerman was holding both hands in the air as if, say, throw it to me. But he made the longer throw and gave the Dodgers 2 runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a high fly ball, high enough for Michael Taylor. 2 down. Well, you could say that on that fly ball, certainly Peterson would have scored. But then again, you never know the pitch. All smiles. Clayton talking to Justin Turner. Frowns out there on the mound. And Matt's going out to talk to Storen. And he's going to go to the pen to the left-hander, Matt Thornton. So a tough inning for Drew Storen in the 8th inning. A hit batter, a double, and then the throwing error that produced 2 runs. We'll be right back. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. 3-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Thornton, big fella, 6'4", 205-pounder out of Florida. That doesn't make sense at all. There's a base hit up the middle. So Crawford greets Thornton with a single and get a lot more accurate. Matt Thornton's from Michigan.
Shortstop, number 14, Kike Hernandez.
Spent a lot of years from 2006 through 2013 with the White Sox. Then he went to the Red Sox, the Yankees, 2 years now with the Nationals. Thought we had the wrong man when I looked how big he is. He's 6'6", 240 pounds, facing Kike Hernandez. The paid attendance tonight, 44,911. 44,911. And the Reds coming in tomorrow. Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, and company. Ball one. Hernandez dazzling at shortstop tonight. Has hit into a double play. That's when Crawford tried to go from second to third. And then he struck out the next two at-bats. Made a couple of dazzling plays at short. You would think since Jimmy Rollins pinch hit, Rollins would finish up the 9th inning at short. Ethier batted for Peraza. So Kike will probably play second base to Rollins short in the 9th. Matt Thornton, a first-round pick for the Seattle Mariners. Fastball, 3-1. He was a student teacher, and he was planning on being a biology and PE teacher and maybe coaching basketball and baseball. Wound up a first-round pick. And he walks Kike. So the Dodgers with one out had a hit batter. That was Peterson. Ethier's double. The relay throw for no real reason. The runners had stopped. And Rendon committed his 5th error by throwing the ball into the Dodger dugout. After Rollins flied out, Crawford singles, and Hernandez draws the walk. And here's a hungry Gonzalez. Not only 0 for 3, struck out all 3 times. Fastball, ground ball to Rendon, and that's that. However, the Dodgers can thank their stars for 2 runs. Kenley Jansen coming in, 9th inning, 3-0 Dodgers. For Peraza, stays in the game in left field. Jimmy Rollins, who pinch hit batting ninth, stays in the game at short. Kike Hernandez, who's played short for 8 innings, moves over to second base. And Kenley Jansen takes over on the mound. Kenley, 2-1, and the remarkable numbers, 53 strikeouts and 4 walks. The opposition batting 181 against him, and he'll get the best that Washington has: Escobar, Rendon, and Harper. The game belongs to Kershaw. He should win his 10th. He would be 7-2 here this year. Clayton allowed 3 hits, no walks, struck out 8. Escobar flied to center, grounded out twice, lost a base hit in the 6th inning. Great play by Kike Hernandez. Escobar went diving into the bag head first. First ball swinging as he usually does, and Jimmy Rollins lets Ethier make the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Anthony Rendon rounded to third, flied to left, single to left. Gave the Dodgers 2 runs in respect. There was certainly a double by Ethier to put runners at second and third. And a strike. Rendon, last year a Silver Slugger award. Fine young ball player. He was on the DL. One ball and 1 strike. One and 2. Rendon is out of Texas, facing Jansen. Went to Rice University, and he was a star basketball and track star as well as baseball. Last year was a big year. He had 21 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Good fastball puts him away. So it's in the night of strikeouts. The Dodgers have struck out 10 times. Washington has now struck out 9 times. So we've had 19 strikeouts in the game. And with 2 down, Bryce Harper coming up. Harper does not have any luck at all against Kershaw. Against Kenley Jansen, Bryce Harper is 2 for 3, including a home run. Hitting behind him, Ryan Zimmerman. Harper tonight grounded to second, grounded to short, struck out. Zimmerman behind him has struck out twice and grounded out. 0-1. Washington has a total of 3 hits, and the young center fielder, the rookie Michael Taylor, has a double and a single. It was Taylor who broke up the potential perfect or no-hitter when he doubled in the 6th inning. Oh, and 1. So the crowd, 44,911, looking for the last out. to put the Dodgers 3.5 games in front of the Giants. 0-2. Got him. So Jansen strikes out 2. What a night. 10 Nats struck out, 10 Dodgers. And of course Anthony Rendon commits a big error, but still the way things were going, Dodger pitching was definitely dominating Washington. Interesting, the Dodgers win, they're 3.5 in front. Washington loses, they're 3.5 behind the Mets. And remember, Washington now has a 4-game series with San Francisco. Obviously, the player of the game tonight would have to be Clayton Kershaw. 8 innings, no runs, 3 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. He is 7-2 at home. He is 9-2 lifetime against Washington. Another great job. In 231 starts, in 61 of those starts, Kershaw has not allowed an earned run. That would be 26% of all of his starts have been shutout. Wow. Well, it'll be the Reds here tomorrow night. We'll talk to you then. Till then, from all of us to all of you, have a very pleasant good evening, everybody.